man-manā bhava mad-bhaktah mad-yājī mam namaskuru evaiṣyasi satyaṃ te pratijāne priyo me. We have seen this verse in yesterday class. The concept of this verse is nothing but be a karma yogi. That's why a mumukshu is divided into three categories. One is manda mumukshu. Second category madhyama mumukshu. And the final one is called uttama mumukshu. And being a mumukshu, one is supposed to transform one's own self from mandya to madhyama, madhyama to uttama. So what is this manda mumukshu? So manda mumukshu, please understand. God is there because without God you cannot be a seeker of truth either. It doesn't work. So here it says that there are hundreds of goals. Shastra divides all the goals into dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And of course, to arrive at my goals, I need the help of Ishvara. So Ishvara becomes my companion. Ishvara becomes a tool. Ishvara becomes a means to achieve my desired goal. That's why once in a while I go to the temple, I go to the church, I go to some places to put my attendance. That is called manda mumukshu. Then same person starts understanding because once, that's why this religious person mumukshu, the difference is this, that. Religious person only looks at that. But mumukshu, with prayer there is study. Because prayer and study must go together. This is the most important point. Mere prayer is not going to make you a uttama mumukshu or karma yogi. Nor mere study. If mere study can help you, then all the professors in the university, they will be the best karma yogi. However, now this person understands not only there are hundreds of goals in my life categorized as dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but moksha is parama purushartha. So when the person understands that moksha is the ultimate goal, it's like whole day I go around, in the night I have to come back home. Unless I am a nightclub oriented person, okay? So if that is my aim, once I understand that, moksha parama purushartha iti, then what happens? Slowly, because of, remember, because of prayer and study, slowly all other goals gets dropped. they get dropped. And when all other goals get dropped, now moksha become paramapurushartha. And when again I continue with study and prayer continuously, then what happens? From madhyama mumukshu, I become uttama mumukshu. So uttama mumukshu means, for me, God or moksha is only end goal. And this is the essence of this verse. Because here Lord Krishna says very nicely that man-manā bhava. So when you say man-manā bhava, so how one can be man-manā? So you have to think of Ishvara all the time, only when you are uttama mumukshu. Mad-bhakto, be my devotee. Also mad-yājī, worship me. Namaskuru, take shelter, refuge in me. So all these things will happen only when a person really a uttama mumukshu. Solely what will happen? Mam evaiṣyasi. You shall reach me alone. Satyaṃ pratijāne. I promise you. Because asime priyo. You are dear to me. So while discussing this, now as we have discussed, I don't want to go further. The next verse is much more complicated and well quoted by everybody. Whether people know Bhagavad Gita or not, this line almost everybody knows. Continuing. Sarva-dharmān parityajya ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja ahaṃ tvāṃ sarva-pāpebhyo mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucah. And you know, everywhere before, Bhagavad Gita, that in ashram before food, okay? This also is chanted. So everyone knows. And this is highly misquoted, abused verse. Let us have fun with this verse, okay? I would like to have some fun. Sarva-dharmān parityajya. So what happens? Having renounced all dharmas, mam ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja. So may you take shelter in me. And I am the only shelter. Why? Ahaṃ sarva-pāpebhyo. I shall remember mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucah. I shall liberate you from all the sins. And of course, ma śucah, do not grieve. This is the translation, okay? I didn't add anything. This is as it is. That's why in the name of Krishna, you can do anything, you can sell anything. There will be no guilty, no papam, because Lord Krishna says He will take care of all the sin papas. What a beautiful verse. And that is how, in fact, the group highlights, interestingly, you should not worship Rama, forget about others. You should not worship Shiva, you should not worship anything. And the most important is the mantra that is popular, that they will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But in reality, It is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then comes Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Because for these people, Krishna is the ultimate God. How can Rama come before Krishna? You have to understand the concept, very dangerous concept. However, and they say that it's not we are saying, it's Lord Krishna has said this. You can see the verse. sarva-dharmān parityajya ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja ahaṃ sarva-pāpebhyo mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucah. This is the clear statement by Lord Krishna himself. Now what can you say? And remember, this verse is the most important verse. Do you know why? With this verse, teaching is completed. So remember this. Bhagavad Gita teaching starts from 2nd chapter, verse number 11. That is called prathama sloka. And this becomes charama sloka. The last verse, that is 18th chapter, verse number 66. With this, Bhagavad Gita teaching is completed. After that, he is going to wind up the chapter. But with this, chapter is completed. And they will say, look, being the topmost. Now Lord Krishna says this thing. Now tell me, what is to be done? Now, let us do the contract. Here, Adi Shankaracharya comes forward to help us. Or else, disaster. This is the job of Acharya. Now, how to contract? We can contract with them the way they want. Sarva-dharmān parityajya. As it is, we will go, don't worry. So that means what? Having renounced all dharmas. Now, question comes that in 4th chapter, same Lord Krishna said, parityānaya sadhunam vināṣāya ca duskrutam dharma sansthapanarthāya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he said that whenever dharma goes down, when adharma prevails, now to protect the sadhus and to punish those who are not following dharma, I am born regularly. Now, again, how come the same Krishna towards end says, not to only give up one or two dharma, all dharmas? Is it not contradicting? Can you see this point? Because you have to be, strong enough. So technically, here dharma means called punya karma, vihita karmani. Adi Shankaracharya brings very carefully. Along with dharma, you have to bring adharma. So that means sarva dharma adharman parityajya. So sarva dharma dharma parityajya ityartha. So one need to go beyond, we'll see, or renounce dharma and adharma. It's a very contradicting statement. You have to be very careful. This verse being the essence of the teaching. Okay, why do you say so? So first of all, when we say dharma, it's a very technical word. You cannot look at, religion, because that's how in India, all this translation was very carefully done by Britishers. So they translated dharma as a religion. And it's such a dangerous, translation. So if you follow a religion, your dharma is different. And you cannot question. And that's why till now, in India, we have different, this civil code. Just you declare you are some other religion, so you are being judged, or your action will be judged in the court in a different way. What else? In a country. All these things because of this word dharma. Because a lot of consequences you have to understand in India. India is going through a very difficult situation. It is not that what is projected outside. However, here we use this word carefully. Dharma, when we say Shastra Vihita Karma, means divided into three categories. Kaika, Vachika and Manasika. So in short you can say, Dharma means karma, that too Punya karma. So when it is a Punya karma, again three types of Punya karma. In the level of Kaika, physical, in the level of Vachika, verbal, and in the level of Manasika, mental. Also, when you say adharma, adharma means papa karma, shastra viruddha karma, nishiddha karma, avihita karma. We have different terminology. So that which is prohibited by Shastra. Now, if this is the truth, in short we say Papa Karma. And these Papa Karmas also divided into three categories. Kaika, Vachika and Manasika. In the level of physical, then comes verbal, finally comes mental. Now it says, sarva-dharmān parityajya ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja. There is a problem. How can you give up all karma? Lord Krishna is very clearly, carefully has presented this verse, because this verse, being the essence of Jnana Yoga, you have to infer, it is implicit meaning, not explicit. Because nowhere Jnanam, Vedanta is being used, or moksha. So how to understand this? This is the clue here. Because when it says sarva-dharmān, means, as we explained, sarva-dharmā-adharmān means sarva-karmān ityartha. So you have to give up all karmas. Is it possible? Because he himself has said what? Nahi kaschid kshanam api jatu tishtati akarma kurta. In 3rd chapter, that is his statement. A person cannot stay even if a kshanam, a moment, without doing karma. That we know. And not only that, in many places he says also, nahi dehabhruta satyaṃ tyaktam karmani asesataha. Just recently, 18th chapter. The one who is embodied, the one who is, alive, having a body, that person what? Cannot give up karma completely. This 18th chapter, okay? Recently has said. And different places he has also presented different. Now, how can he say in the last verse that one has to renounce both karma and akarma, means entire karma, sarva-dharmān. And then next is surrender to me. Hey, that surrendering becomes another karma. That will come to another conclusion, okay? Don't worry. I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit problem today. So, then how to look at that? So here is, this jnanam is implicit meaning. What he says, karma or entire karma cannot be given up. As long as I have deha abhimana, that long I am a karta. And as long as I am a karta, that long karma will continue. Clear? So, deha abhimana means identifying body as me. So, what he highlights here in this verse, that as long as I identify with my body-mind complex, deha abhimana, now that long I have this ahaṃ. I am so and so. And ahaṃ is connected to karta, bhokta, etc. And karma is a byproduct. And when he says sarva-dharmān parityajya, sarva-karmān parityajya, later on what? Ahaṃ parityajya, ahaṃ vimuktaha ityartha. One who is free from ahaṃ. Dehabhimana parityajya. So the one who no more identifies with body-mind complex. Now, this is only can happen through knowledge. Because ahaṃ tyaga, dehabhimana tyaga is not that easy. Unless there is śravaṇaṃ, mananam and nitidhyasanam. That fellow is not going to go away so quickly from us. It is exactly like leech. You try to pull, only it will suck blood. So what he says, that only when there is atma jnana, when there is jnana-nishtha, not only jnanam, okay? Only jnana-nishtha means commitment towards the knowledge. Not only because it was earlier talked uttama mumukshu, previous verse. Now here he says you need to have jnana-nishtha. Then only that person will be able to give up sarva-dharmā, or you can say sarva-karma. So that means when I know my swarupam, instead of identifying with body-mind complex, I identify with myself. Then only because of this jnanam, I will be able to manage to give up all karma. Or else karma is not going to go away from me at all. Then if this is the case, I give up, okay, sarva dharma, now sarva karma. Now next is what? Me being a jnani, sarva-dharmān parityajya, mam ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja. So that means what? Mam eka śaraṇaṃ vraja. It is not that I have to take shelter to Mam, me, Lord Krishna. So here he says, very good question, you need to see, that Ishvaraha, which is non-dual, because he himself has already said, that's why, or else what will happen? Okay, all this is understood. Now you take shelter to Krishna, but don't take shelter to, Rama or Vishnu or even Shiva or Mother Durga, anything. Only Lord Krishna, not like that. We are not talking about son of Vasudeva. We are not talking about Devaki Nandana or Yasodanandana, son of Devaki or son of Yasoda. But we are talking about Ishvaraha. That has been talked in details. How we have to understand also. We have seen what Ishvaraha. So how do we saw Ishvaraha? In 11th chapter. 11th chapter, when we saw Ishvaraha, what we say? Anekarupa Ishvaraha. Vishwarupa Ishvaraha. We saw that, okay? I hope you remember those days, okay? We used ekarupa to anekarupa, anekarupa to arupa. As a travel. You can say, Swamiji, this is a very old topic, okay? Don't bring those things anymore. Ekarupa Ishvara means my Ishta Devata. Anekarupa means God can be in any form. That is what's being called Vishwarupa, 11th chapter. Then from Vishwarupa, we come to Arupa. Because that Arupa was presented as Nirguna Brahma or Para Prakriti in earlier chapters. So when Lord Krishna says, you need to approach me, surrender to me. So in this context, does he says Ekarupa Krishna or Anekarupa Ishvaraha or Arupa Nirguna Brahma? You have to be very careful. So definitely he is highlighting not Krishna Vasudeva Sutam, Kansa Chanuramardanam, Devaki Nandanam, not that. Not Ekarupa Krishna who was having a form. But it is being talked about Arupa, Sachidananda Swarupa Krishna. So sarva-dharmān parityajya mam ekaṃ śaraṇaṃ vraja. Dehabhimanam parityajya. Can you see this point? Dehabhimanam parityajya Sachidananda Krishnam śaraṇaṃ vraja iti. Not Devaki Nandanam Krishna. Natu Vasudeva Putra Krishna. Then he says, if this is the case, then next line says, ahaṃ sarva-pāpebhyo mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucah. I think we will discuss later on. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.